And one of the first ways we start is by asking people that come in, looking at this piece of art, what does it say to you?
First I thought it looked Nando-ish.
Yeah.
That little chicken, what they take from your table, you know, they act like they care. When they gotta take that chicken, you know, that one. But then, bro, all that there, these little symbols, looks kind of dark to me. Maybe I've just got a messed up mind.
No, expand on that a little bit.
Something looks dark and devilish to me.
So dark and devilish.
It looks like a ritual. It looks...
No, you're not the first person to say that ritual, yeah.
If you want to get deep on it, yeah, there's the division sign with reverse. So does that mean unity? Is it like reversing division? I must get a click for that. That's deep. Yeah.
It's quite intense, and I can see quite a lot of, I don't know, a mixture of passion and something quite raw.
Intense, passion, raw.
And I'm not sure if those little red eyes are kind of weirding me out a little bit, but yeah. I like it because it draws you in, and there's a lot to kind of try and think about and analyze when you look at it, because the more I look at it, the more smaller bits I can see that are kind of making me think, why is there a number 4?
Yeah.
And why is there only 3 toes on the foot? And why is it green? You know, you just start asking loads and loads of questions as to why it is the way it is.
I just noticed that there's 2 eyes that's just staring at me. Do you know what I mean? And I don't know where it actually kind of, do you know what I mean? Confrontational, staring down at me, looking up. I probably don't know. And the red stripe in the middle kind of looks like a nose to me, you know, from this point of thing. Kind of, I don't know, the strength and power of the look, the stern, if you get what I mean.
I'd say darkness and danger with, I'd say, all eyes on me.
Darkness, danger, all eyes on me. All right, so what's the eyes? Where'd you get the eyes?
So we've got the 2 red eyes, and then all the dots.
Yeah, so, and even here as well.
Like the 2 up there, 1 there.
So what's the danger? What makes you think danger?
Like for the colour red, represents, it's either grounding or danger. So, and the black is the darkness. Yeah, it's a mix between a lot of stuff, really.
Yeah.
I don't know, I could see some signs and some numbers up at the top.
Yeah.
Actually, kind of thinking of it, it kind of reminds me of those African masks.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, you know, it looks like one of those figurines that, you know, I kind of started seeing when I went back to Nigeria years and years ago, you know, at the altars.
Yeah. Nice.
For me, it's funny because you just said something dark.
Yeah.
And I think for me, because I kind of grew up away from this country, I don't see it as being dark.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah, I don't see it as being dark.
So where do you think that comes from? When you say you grew up away from this country?
Because I think, you know, the perception is people tell us what is supposed to be the norm and what norm is it. So because we're not familiar with it, you know, as I said, I was born here and I went back over to Nigeria and, you know, I lived in the quarters or the village.
Wait, let's stop. Don't go too far ahead.
But the thing is, for me, when I went back in 1979, you know, those were things that I was seeing in people's houses. So it became the norm for me. Where somebody who's over here, it's not the norm.
It could be, I don't know, it looks like someone's in a ritual. That black thing could be like a fox or a black fox, a black wolf, or the background as if they're in a fire, they're dancing around a fire. It could be Africa, tribal. There's arrows. It could even look like hell.
Well, why'd you say hell? What, the red?
The red background, the fiery background, the kind of demonic figure, we could kind of say, but I don't know. It could be a kid's party. I don't know.
What do you see when you?
You know what? When I'm looking at it now, because sometimes I'll just flow with this and just say, oh, whatever, and I'll hear what you've got to say.
Yeah.
But I'm seeing like loads of different heads and faces. So you see where it's got the red eye there on the left?
Yeah.
So the black part of that, I can see a head there. Those 2 dotted eyes over there, that's another face to me.
Yeah.
And there's 2 faces up there. I can see like a cat
Yeah.
So I could just see loads of different faces. You said you could just look at this for hours and create.
Absolutely. And one thing which is really interesting is that's obviously, you know, in terms of perception, people see different things at different times. So you seeing different things is probably because you're in a different space at the moment.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting to be fair when you say that. Because I think that, the space that you're in will determine what you see. So that's quite interesting.
It looks a bit demonic to me, to be honest. Like the red and the black contrast. There's a lot of devilment in those colours. And the eyes, yeah, it's a bit...
So a bit demonic.
Yeah, a bit demonic.
So that's the feeling you get.
Bit devilish for my palate.
There's something powerful about it. I think it might be the colours. I'm seeing a lot of eyes. Well, not a lot of eyes, but I'm seeing some eyes. It's saying something to me. Not exactly sure what. I'll say it's in between positive and negative, to be honest, what it's feeding me. Or a balance in between positive and negative.
Balance.
I'm only saying all this stuff because I've learned to look at things different.
Yeah.
You know, when I was younger, I would have said, if I'm in some black thing with a cat and a man in the skirt, you know what I mean? But as you get older, I even use examples of things like this when I say, what do you see? And then I say, how do you turn it into a business? So now looking at stuff, I look at it a lot different, and I feel like, I think it's more giving me that exact feeling I just said, in between balance, in between positive and negative, in between man and animal, in between plus and negative.
Nice.
Give me a balanced feeling.
I'm going to switch up on him and ask him what he
Hey,
thinks.
listen, this guy.
We like to start the show and just ask our people what they think. What do you think, Charlie?
You know what? Like for me, it's a bit unfair for you to ask me this because I've explained what I think about this piece of art so many times, but
yeah, but I want to
give it a go. I'll give it a go.
Because maybe you see something different today.
All right, I'll give it a go. So for me, the feelings, let me talk about the feelings I get. I get feelings of dance, ritual, Africa, colourful. They're the feelings. What I think of it is that eyes, watching, someone always watching. And like I spoke to, when I remember having Dexter here, and we was talking about there's eyes just everywhere, and it feels like I'm looking at it, but it's looking at me. So that's what I think about it.
Wow, you went in. That's what I love about him, you know.
Just looking at it, what does that say to you?
To be honest, like my perception of this is with the dress, I'm believing it's like a black girl, but because she's dark and she looks confused, there's all calculations and symbols around her. Maybe she's got that misconception of feeling ugly, like it's quite a monstrous face. So she's got that misconception where they put in catalogues, in magazines, where the darker girls usually find themselves feeling unattractive and she's in some kind of state of confusion. And there's a doorway here, so hopefully she's running through that doorway to escape that concept of mind, and we'll probably go through there and clear her mindset and realise that she's a beautiful person.
You know what? Like, to be fair, that's quite sick.
You have the old saying, you live by the land, by the fruits of the land. These folks live by the fruits of the water. So they go fishing. Most of the sand that comes out of the building around the area is from there. But this describes, the old culture.
Yeah? Yeah. Okay, and in terms of when you look at this picture, what feelings come to mind? Like emotions, feelings?
Sour home.
Sour home.
We are.
It's our home.
Yes, sour is literally describes the region in which we are in. Okay. And I was born in this region, so yeah.
This just looks like an African piece. It's just like all one connecting.
All one connected.
Yeah. It's got 2 extra bodies, 2 extra heads. Yeah, so to me, it's like all one connected.
All one connected.
Yeah.
When you say African piece, what made you think African piece?
Like when you're seeing it's got like a couple of the Egyptian symbols, especially the color theme as well, the green and the yellow and the black.
Nice. Yeah, so that's one of the ways we like to start. And it's interesting, like I always say, so I ask different people, what do you see? And we all see different things. And I feel like working in the community, that's what it is.
Yeah.
There's no one story that's the same.
Yeah.
It's very different. And what one thing means to someone means something else to another person.
I'm either seeing like two personalities stuck in one body. So having a quick look at it, I would say split personality.
Split personality.
That's what I get from it.
You know what? I always say this. It's so subjective because various different people have looked at it and everyone's come up with something different, but I've never thought about the split personality. But yeah, that's interesting.